This is Still Here Hollywood's 10-Minute Takes, bite-sized chapters of our favorite chats with the stars. I'm Steve Kmetko. Here is the fifth of 7 chapters with actor Steven Weber from Wings and Chicago Med.
It was a real strange experience.
And so had there been anything, any indications leading up to it?
Nothing. Nope. I know I was driving down the street, and I pulled into this gas station because my car was really low on gas. I was coming from the dentist's office.
Son of a bitch.
Which was fun.
God damn it.
Couldn't happen sooner.
Sure.
And I pulled in, and I was having trouble even pulling up to the...
Wow.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But I was very lucky in that the attendant at the gas station called an ambulance. They took me to a hospital in Chicago, which performs this fairly new procedure where they literally are able to go in and suck out the clot or whatever it is that's blocking. And when I left the hospital, I was there for a month, and then I had 6 weeks of physical therapy.
Right.
The doctor said to me, "You didn't happen to buy a lottery ticket that day, did you?" And I said, "No, why?" "Because you were really lucky." I said, "Oh."
What do you mean? You won?
No, I would have died.
Oh, I see. That's where my mind goes.
Yeah. No, I wish I had.
I got a stroke and I won $1 million. Wow. Oh, my gosh.
That would have been nice.
That's
and
incredible.
It's been kind of a slow recovery. I still have some balance issues.
Right.
And, if I suddenly lose my train of thought, you'll know what it is.
Okay.
But it was interesting.
Well, I have to say that this is what we're encountering at this age, and what everybody encounters in one way or the other, but doesn't really talk about. I hope you don't mind that we're talking about it. I mean, I think it's interesting,
Well, it's kind of like going to an AA meeting.
Right.
If you don't talk about it,
Yeah.
nobody else can get anything from it.
And it's a reminder that we're all going to the same place.
Yes, we are.
And all too often people behave as though they have forgotten that or they don't believe it. But, life has its way with you regardless. Look, I'm sorry you went through that or are going through that, but God damn it, you're here.
I kind of thought, turning 70 was going to be easy because I was doing so well.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, God has a way.
Well, but he doesn't give us more than we can handle.
Oh,
they
please.
Say. I like that. I don't say God. I say the universe doesn't give us. I believe that. Oh, please. Listen, some people can't handle it.
I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. Come on, Steve. You Kmetko, you.
Well, I tell you, my family treats me much better.
Well, yeah.
Just a year later.
Yeah, good.
My nieces were all
use
here.
it.
My nieces were all here just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And they're all younger than me, not that much anymore. But they would rush out to, if I drove up to my brother's house or something where they were staying, they would rush out and help me up the stairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, you guys, come on."
That's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. But, I suppose I'd rather it didn't happen.
But look, I won't go into it, but in the last 10, 12 years, I've had some shit happen. Life has happened, and it's been really challenging. And I suppose I would like to go back and not have it happen, but it's even ridiculous to think of that. It made me into a person that I never would have been. I'm not saying that it was easy, but I'm not sure I would be nearly as lovable as I am now, or accessible or thoughtful. And I'm not saying it's easy, but and when you have kids, which I do, I have those two sons who can't flush a toilet, as we discussed. I wonder what life is going to be for them and what they will encounter. And nobody gets out of here unscathed.
No.
And some people have it way worse.
Yeah, nobody gets out of this life alive.
What? Oh, what?
Nobody gets out of life alive.
I heard you. I was just shocked. Let's not fight. Not everything is that interesting, and not everything is eligible for consumption. There's something to be said for a world where people don't regurgitate everything online, and it's not real anyway, in a sense, because it's not full. It's not rich. You don't see every dimension of it. So if I start talking stuff if I start telling my personal issues that are deeply important to me, I'm skeptical that they will be received well. You know, that I reserve for my closest friends
Go
and
for
family.
the sympathy.
Okay, I like to crush puppies.
Oh, no. Okay, stop there.
I must crush the puppies. No, it's like, this is a world that can be really unforgiving.
Does
So,
Kat the dog know this?
she's part of it. She's my lure. It's dark.
What instruments do your sons play?
Well, what a segue.
Was that? Did you like that?
So good.
I just came up with it on my own.
Well, my older son Jack, is an indie rocker, and he's a composer. He plays the keyboard, guitar. He's teaching himself the saxophone, which is kind of painful, but he's dogged and he is talented. And he's touring with a band now called The Props. He also has his own stuff on iTunes under Jack Xander, Xander, and he's kind of incredible. His brother Alfie, who's 20, is an amazing drummer, jazz drummer, and he's at Berklee College of Music in Boston. And they're both shockingly good. I don't have to bullshit or lie that, my sons are really good musicians, and kind of wince as they play. They're really amazing.
That helps.
It does help. I mean, they're young and they're fearless, and they play crappy clubs, low-ceilinged clubs, the kinds that I used to go to in New York when I was in my teens, that I wouldn't be caught dead in now.
Well, it's fortunate nobody can smoke in those clubs anymore.
Oh, yes, but that's only mildly better. They still mosh. It's still seedy and creepy, and they love it. I actually... my son was playing, and I was standing there, and they don't like when old people are in the audience, but my wife and I were there and watching her and trying not to applaud and kvel and, oh, look at him, because he's a rocker. And people were dancing, and somebody bumped into me hard, and I kind of, took it. And then somebody else banged into me, a woman. And then the guy bumped into me again, and I said, I lift weights. I have cosmetic musculature. I'm going to put it to use. And I grabbed this guy, and I must have said something like, something brilliant. Okay. And my son is on stage, and I kind of clock him, and he's looking at me. He's playing. He's looking at me like, and afterwards, they were done, and I said, you see, huh? See the old man? I shut down this guy. He said, they were moshing. You stopped them from moshing. The whole point is moshing. God damn it, he was mad at me. And then apparently later on, the guy who I stopped was in another band who went up to my son Jack and said, hey, some old guy stopped me from moshing. It's humiliating, so I don't stop it from moshing.
We'll be back for more after this.
I thought this is the way it's always going to be. I've reached this rhythm, this pitch of how to work, and I would always be at this level. I was deceiving myself.
Do you think of yourself as an old guy?
I kind of do. It's partly because if I do see myself in some of these early shows, I see a young guy. I see a guy in his 30s, 40 even. But, I have this now. And when I don't have that, sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, hey, what's my mother doing here? Oh, that's me. I look like my 86-year-old mom in New York.
Does she have a beard?
Well, no, she looks great. At least I don't think she has a beard. Steve, please, we'll talk about this. Yeah, you're back. Kmetko's back. Does she have a beard?
You talk about your wife, but you're not married right now.
Well, that's part of the complicated thing.
Okay.
So I'm not married now, but we are in each other's lives. We are in each other's orbits. We are together a lot. More than we're not. We have an investment in each other, in our lives. We've been witnesses to every possible madness, and we are still close. We have sons. We have a lot of things that we share, and we decided, after a while, why not accept where we are and move forward as this unit. Now,
and be friends.
Well, yeah, we have always been friends, and more than friends. And I mean, I'm not making it sound like Dr. Zhivago, but I have to be realistic here, and I have to be respectful, and not be dripping with saccharine, lovey-dovey stuff. Again, trying to. I think that's kind of a reflection of where I am after many years of being kind of callow and thoughtless and superficial in many areas. Still having fun, still hopefully being likable and empathetic. But this is something different. So yeah, I'm spoken for, and I guess it's hard. It's hard to be personal in a world that kind of cleans its claws on vulnerability. So I have to watch myself here in a way.
Would you get married again?
To watch the next chapter, click the box. To listen, just stay tuned.